the Green Bay Packers versus the Indianapolis Colts, with the Packers being the underdog in this case, coming in with their backup quarterback Malik Willis, and pulling out a victory, and really was in control of the game, even though the final score ended up 16-10. I really thought the Packers controlled the game with their ground game. Uh, Survived a center throwing up on a football on a on a passing play that would have pretty much helped them out. And I said going into this game, this would be a real test for the Packer defense. This was going to tell us a lot. And while I'm not convinced it told me everything about the Packer defense led by Coach Halfley, uh, I think the Packers got to be pleased that they held Indianapolis to 10 points and walked away with a victory with a backup quarterback. Uh, and I think the Packers are also happy that they've got a running back now, that they gave Josh Jacobs the ball over 30 times, and that was the first time they had done that in over 20 years, I want to say, and something
Hmm.
Aaron Jones had never done for him. Uh, and on the other side, I was just surprised that the Colts couldn't put up more points on the Packers. Um, a couple interceptions out there. One was just kind of a punt at the end of the game, so you kind of take that away. But a couple bad plays by Richardson, and I also think it was more of a testament. You got to start thinking, if you're Indianapolis, is Richardson really our quarterback of the future? Because it was Gardner Minshew who led them to a lot of W's last year. It was not. It was I just can't believe that they really feel good about Richardson right now handling their quarterback duties. But what do we have, and well, I know what we have, but what do we have, and what'd you think about the game?
So we made the Packers favored still, even with a backup quarterback at home. Um, the Packers are, I forget exactly what the number is, but they've got an absurd home win streak, like opening games or something like that. Um, like week one, if they're at home, it's like, was it 13, or I forget exactly what
Yeah,
the number is. Um, and the reason why I wasn't anti Packers in this one is I think the Packers are just a lot more talented football team. I think
yeah,
their front office has done a fantastic job with young talent. And then Malik Willis came in and did exactly what was asked of him. I mean, he was 12 of 4 for 120 and a touchdown.
yep,
They didn't ask him to go deep. He threw one pass, I think, over like 25 yards, the one to Romeo
Dobbs.
Dobbs, where he kind of mossed the DB. Um, but for the Packers, it was Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs left, Josh Jacobs right, Josh Jacobs up the middle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd mentioned it. It's the first time since 2004 with Ahmad Green that the Packers have done that with a running back. Um, on the defensive side, the Packers were, I thought, how it should look. Um, I'm not high on Anthony Richardson at all. I've expressed that in the past. I'll keep saying it until he proves something. I didn't think he was great at Florida. Um, Comes in and he's a good dual threat, just big physical runner. But I mean, he missed some throws that you can't miss. And you can't turn the ball over 3 times, even if one of them is that late pick on like the Hail Mary. I don't care when you're going to lose the turnover battle. You are not going to go on the road in the NFL and beat a good team. Um, and as far as the code, like I said, we made the Packers favored. So not enough to be a play for us on the spread. I wish that would have been the play. Instead, we had the over. Um, Again, thinking that the Packers would still be able to put up points and that the Colts would be able to put some points up, maybe hit one big play against that Packer defense with a line near 40. I still like the over in that game. And it's tough to say that it wasn't necessarily a terrible look because, I mean, Josh Jacobs fumbles on the 1 yard line. He goes in and scores there. The Packers are up 17-0 early. It forces the Colts to keep throwing the ball. Um, and you never know what could have happened. But anytime you're going to turn the ball over going into the end zone, your over is probably in trouble, especially
Yep,
with that amount of turnovers.
yep. No, I would agree with you. It was. It was interesting to see how the Packers handled that. I was surprised by how the Colts played it defensively. Uh, and the bottom line was Packers come out with their first W up at Lambeau Field, and they are now 1-1 heading into a game next week against the Tennessee Titans. Uh,